Are we live? It's pumpkin season, and I'm making a savory pumpkin sauce. Hi, friends. Welcome to Cooking Live with Lala. I'm Lala. I'm a home cook, professional baker, and plant-based eater. Whether you are also plant-based or just trying to get more plants into your diet, this show is for you. Let's start cooking. All right. I am producerless today, so it's just me. And if there's any technical problems, I probably will have no idea what to do. So it's a good start. I'm excited. Let's make this food. All right, we're going to start with an onion. I'm going to do about half of an onion. This pumpkin sauce that we're making today, I've only ever put this over pasta, but for today, I'm actually going to try it on a potato and on some rice because it's what I had. But I think it would be really good on some quinoa. Hello, Jeff. If you guys love pumpkin stuff, let me know. Are you one of those people who couldn't wait for Starbucks to put out their pumpkin spice latte? It's not a thing for me, but I do love actual pumpkin. Let me know. I'm really interested in the comments. Let me know. Let's go back to this. Let me turn this cooker on. We're just going to try to get a little bit of color on these onions. This is not going to be hot for a minute. This is just some neutral oil. I'm just going to use a tablespoon. If you don't use oil, you could definitely just use water in this dish. But like I said, it's going to be a minute until this heats up because I forgot to heat it up ahead of time. Ooh. Jeff loves it. Don't forget to like the show, everyone. Emily loves pumpkin pasta. I was chatting with Emily. I wish she was here, but she's got important things to do, like being the best at gymnastics. So she's doing something great. Wouldn't if it was offered all year, though. I agree. I think the only reason people love pumpkin spice lattes is because it's only available for a short period of time. Starbucks, not a thing for me, but I love real pumpkin food. Me too. I actually don't go to, I can't remember the last time I went to Starbucks. I'm just not a fan. And also caffeine is kind of an issue for me. So I don't consume much caffeine, but, oh, Sydney says Emily has gymnastics. Yes, she does. She says she's going to be great. She told me today she's going to be great at gymnastics. She already is. She's so fantastic at gymnastics. So this was a recipe that I created a couple months ago. I was just like, I've never had a pumpkin sauce. Let me try it. So I just kind of put my own thing together. Afterwards, I kind of researched what do people put in it. I like the way I do it better. When I look at recipes for pumpkin sauces, they often use cinnamon and things like that. I do not want this to have that kind of feeling. I want this to have more of maybe a Thanksgiving feeling. This recipe has some sage in it. It has some thyme in it. I just don't want it to have more of a sweet taste, That I don't know. That just seems really odd to me. I think I'm going to put the rest of this onion in. Now that I see it in here, it just doesn't seem like very much. Guys, I really felt kind of nervous today about this show. I feel a lot better now. That's what happens with me and nerves. If I feel nervous about something, usually as soon as I start, I feel better. But this is the first time I haven't had any moral support where I am. And I really just kind of felt nervous about that, But I'm good. I'm okay. Sometimes you just have to pump your own self up because nobody else is going to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yesterday I went to Trader Joe's to get some pumpkin sauce. Out of town, of course, because my town does not have a Trader Joe's. And I couldn't find it, and I asked her, do you guys have canned pumpkin? And she said, in the fall. I was like, excuse me? She said, in the fall. Like, I almost felt like she was, like, irritated with me for asking for canned pumpkin. People could make pumpkin products not in the fall, couldn't they? Like, it's kind of so funny. Anyways, I went to a different store, and they had it, and that was just fine. It almost felt like if 100 people had come in today asking that day for pumpkin, and she was so over it, or I don't know, it was just funny. You're doing a great job all by yourself. Everything sounds and looks great. Thank you. Papa did set it up for me, so I did not do any of the setting up. Dude, I love Trader Joe's. Let me give you an example why I love Trader Joe's. This is like sun-dried tomatoes. This was like $2.49 at Trader Joe's. And when I buy the same amount at Safeway, it's like more than twice as much. That's one of the reasons I love Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. I feel like Trader Joe's is like, yeah, we don't need to make money. We're just going to sell things super cheap. Oh, here's another thing about Trader Joe's. Can you guys see my flowers this time? The flowers I had last time, I had for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. I did change the water a few times and add some more of that, whatever that powder is that goes in the flowers. But man, 4 weeks. I have so many videos with the same flowers. Finally, I had to break down and buy some more, but those weren't even $5, I think. And they're so beautiful. Okay, you can't see them, those guys. They're probably going to last a long time. They're just amazing. Thank you, Trader Joe's, for being amazing. Canned pumpkin. It's canned, Finny. The pumpkin that I'm using today, it's just pumpkin. It doesn't even have salt in it. It doesn't have preservatives in it. It's just pumpkin, which is very awesome. Like, I cook with a lot of whole foods, but man, cooking with like pumpkin, butternut squash, things like that, it's not super easy. Like, you either usually peel it ahead of time, which is super hard, or you cook it and peel it later, which is just super messy. It's, it's an ordeal. It's a thing. And pumpkins just, just like everything else, just keep getting more and more expensive. All right, these are starting to get some color. So I'm putting mushrooms in this, just like all of my recipes. You don't have to do what I do. One of the ways that I save money, I'm working on a video on, well, it's actually going to be a video series on saving money on plant-based foods. I know a lot of people complain about how expensive plant-based foods are or vegan foods, and I get it. I really do. But I'm working on a series on how to save money on plant-based foods. One of the things that I do is I will buy mushrooms. Mushrooms don't keep very long, so it's not unusual for me to get them marked down at like 39 cents. And so when that happens, I will cut them into the shape I want and freeze them. And that's what I did with these guys. So I'm just going to throw these in. You want to freeze them before they go bad. You don't want them to be slimy because that's weird and nobody wants any slimy mushrooms. All right, we're going to let that cook for a minute and then I'm going to add some kale. I always like to put greens in a dish if I can. This is actually like the pre-cut, pre-washed kale. So I just want to go through this and make sure there aren't any like big stalks in here like this one. Because sometimes they leave the stalks in here and this is not going to break down. And that's not going to taste good either or feel good in your mouth, Look how big this piece is, even though this is pre-cut. So that's why I like to go through these ahead of time. See what we're working with. Okay, the rest of that looks good. And it's back to school time. How excited is everybody about back to school time? I feel like there might be a couple parents in here who are super excited. I know that it's still like officially summer, but I've been really excited for fall for about a month. The hotter it gets in the summer, the more I'm excited for fall to come. Some canned pumpkin is mainly squash. Oh, wait, so when you say that, is it on the ingredients? Patricia, does it say that it's like a squash pumpkin mixture? I'm really curious about that. Free time in the middle of the day. I'm so happy for back to school. We love our kids, right? But it's good to get a break. All right, what are we doing next? Garlic. So garlic is kind of like not a main player in this recipe. I don't want to have any strong garlic flavors, so I'm just doing 2 cloves. Sydney says, yes, we love them at school. I think I might mince these guys. I'll be right back. The kale is getting a bright green color, which tells me that it's cooked a little bit. This is one of the easiest ways, really, to break down a garlic clove. Whew. I always over garlic. I don't know if there's such a thing. I mean, sometimes you don't want to have too much garlic, but I mean, come on, Jeff, how often is that? I love garlic, man. I feel like if I ever had to be like on a deserted island and I can only bring one thing, it would be like garlic. I don't even know how I would make food. Like I know there's like nations that don't use much garlic, and I just don't get it. I really don't. It's very rare for me to have like a dinner recipe that does not contain garlic. Sydney says there's no such thing as too much garlic. Patricia says that no, it does not, but I watched it test in several brands and most were squashed. So that's really, really interesting. So my pumpkin could be squashed. I mean, I love squash too. This tastes like pumpkin, but I've heard the same things about fish. Oftentimes what you think you're buying with fish is not really the fish you think you're getting. Olive oil, that extra virgin olive oil that you're paying a pretty penny for, maybe other types of oils. There's probably a whole slew of products that aren't what we think they are. Yeah, Patricia says she loves garlic, has it daily. Garlic is a really good antioxidant too. You know, it's funny, my husband's family, they live like a long time. I'm talking about everybody lives in their 90s. Like, it's really amazing. And I always just kind of think garlic is part of that because they eat such a high garlic diet. All right, so I've got the garlic in here. We're just going to let that get, we're going to let that aroma come up, and then I'll know that it's hot or that it's ready to go. So I did not test this recipe with fresh tomatoes, and I'm going to add fresh tomatoes today. I just feel like this would be a really great addition, and I want to see what that would be like. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. I'm just going to give these just a little chop. Oh, yeah, I can smell that garlic now. It smells so good. There's a great video on YouTube about garlic. I think the guy's name is Ethan something. I'm sorry, I don't remember. It came out yesterday, and it's a giant deep dive on garlic. It's a really good show. And it talks about fresh garlic versus dried garlic versus the canned garlic, the jarred garlic or the squeezed garlic. It's really good. I highly recommend it. I just want to get these tomatoes soft a little bit. Trisha says, looks fantastic so far. I wish I could smell. It smells really good. So thank you to the 6 people that are here. I appreciate and love you guys so much. If I could get a couple more thumbs up, that would be nice. You know, I'm going to have a drink of this wine. So I've had this channel for less than 3 months. It's tough, guys. It's really, really tough. I knew it would be tough. And I did try to manage my expectations. But it is really hard to try to produce like a live show and only get like 6 people on it. It's tough. It's slightly soul crushing. If I was editing, I would do like a quick like zoom onto my face when I said soul crushing. But it's really, really tough. I found this woman channel yesterday, and you know, she, you know, the video only had like 20 views, and I try to be helpful for small creators. We all need love and help and all that. So I went on her channel, and so there was no editing on the video. It was shot in portrait, but it was not a short. It was like a 30-minute video. There was no lighting whatsoever. And it was just terrible. She had like twins in the background screaming the whole time. You could not see what she was cooking. And I'm just like, well, certainly she doesn't have like any subs, right? The woman had 455 subscribers. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm working so hard. Like my videos, my production just keeps getting better. My videos are scripted. I'm recording them. I'm editing them. I buy lighting and microphones and I'm doing all this stuff. Man, it's just hard. It's just so hard. I just want to say, like, when you guys watch YouTube videos, if they're kind of a newish subscriber, just give them a thumbs up because they really need it. They're probably working their butts off to try to have a good channel. And it's just really, really tough. It's a lot of work. All right, this thing is coming together. I'm going to stop whining. And I'm going to throw in this pumpkin. So like I said, this is just pumpkin or pumpkin and squash. Nobody really knows. But it doesn't have salt or preservatives. I feel like I was just a little aggressive with that can there. I'm going to put in a little bit of balsamic. I really think acid is a great way to improve the flavor of your food without adding calories or fat or sugar or whatever. There's actually some studies that vinegar before a meal helps improve like how your body processes sugars and stuff. It's really interesting. It'd be really cool if this is really a thing. All right, what's next in this dish? Seasonings. I've got some sage. Whoop, you can't see that. Sage, thyme, black pepper, red pepper flakes, because I always use that, and a tiny bit of nutmeg. Like I said, I don't want this to be a sweet dish, but that nutmeg really kind of brings the flavors together. I'm going to add a little bit of plant milk to loosen this up. You know, as usual, you guys can add as much liquid as you like to make it the texture that you want it to be. recipe is almost done. You know, when you go in with liquids on a dish, just be conservative in the beginning, you know. It's really easy to add more liquids, but it's much harder to remove it if you've put in too much liquid. This looks like really good, guys. It kind of looks like a curry. Soon there will be so many people watching. You know, I just have to stick with it. I've already made more videos than most YouTubers. Yes, there are YouTubers with hundreds of videos, but I'm at like 40-something videos, and most people who start a YouTube channel don't get past 10. So I'm already in the 5%. It's like, what was that baseball movie? If you build it, they will come. So I'm building the channel, and I'm hoping my tribe shows up besides my wonderful family, who I'm so grateful to. All right, what's left? I'm going to put a little nutritional yeast. I am a vegan, and, you know, it wouldn't be a vegan sauce without nutritional yeast, but you don't have to use this. Definitely not. It is very thick. I didn't see how long her show has been around for. I was on the TV, so that's like a lot harder. But if I go, I really do want to go on my laptop and see how long she's been around. She does post every day, but literally, it was literally the worst show I've ever seen. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It was just so bad. All right, this is pretty much done. I'm going to turn this down. I have not added any salt, so I'm just going to put in a little pinch. I really don't like to use very much salt in my food. That's like probably not even half a teaspoon. You guys do what you want with salt. If you don't use it, don't use it. If you love it, you know, do your own thing. And I do have a little bit of basil. I'm just going to put in 3 or 4 leaves. Basil can be super overpowering, and I really don't want it to overpower this dish. So I'm just putting in a little bit. Like literally, this isn't probably even a teaspoon. And I'm going to finish it with a little knob of butter. I can smell that basil already. Wow, that was really fast. All right, I'm going to let that melt. I forgot something. Okay, I forgot sun-dried tomatoes. I'm so busy up here talking and complaining about stuff. So these are the sun-dried tomatoes we already talked about. I'm going to do between like 1/8 and 1/4 of a cup. I'm just going to give this just like a quick chop. I really like the chewiness of the dried ones, you know, not the ones that are in oil. We'll just let those rehydrate for a second. I think I missed something else. Oh, maple syrup. Because I put in a little bit of balsamic, I do like to offset that with a little bit of sweet. Maple syrup is my sweetener of choice. Go Canada. And of course, this is like the Kirkland brand, because there really isn't a better price around. So just lost that lid. Ooh, I'm making a mess today. Roy says, keep going. Thank you, Roy. Patricia says, keep at it. Thank you. Smaller channels have it so much harder. It's true. That sauce is so thick. Not unlike Lala. I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing it. I promised myself when I started that I would do 2 years. It's not even 3 full months. I'm already complaining, but I'm going to keep doing it. It's, it's hard. And I knew it would be hard. I expected it to be hard. I see a lot of YouTubers complaining about how hard it is to get like a lot of subscribers and stuff. But the fact is, it's just not an easy thing. And most of us aren't going to have that viral video that gives us like 100,000 subs like right away. All right. So when I made this recipe, I made it with pasta in mind. But, I've been eating a lot more pasta than I really like the past month or so because I've had like a couple pasta recipes. And the truth is that I have pasta about once a month. I really am a plant-based eater. I really don't like to eat too many very processed foods. To me, pasta is a very processed food. So I thought, well, maybe I should try the sauce on a grain. I happen to have rice. I would like to try it with quinoa, and I'll probably do that next. But today I had rice, so I'm going to try it with rice. And I'm going to try it with a baked potato. So let me grab those things. I'll be right back. I'm going to put some of my pasta. And my rice. And I cooked this baked potato in the oven, so it is very nice. These are those free potatoes that I got on my saving money on vegan groceries video. If you haven't seen it, you guys should check it out. And I'm just going to cut up a little bit of basil to put on top of these. All right, it's time to eat. Sydney says you better keep at it. Your grandchildren rely on you making it big and paying for their college. Okay, that's a good deal. Inspired to make this dish, you should try it. We want to know about everything about how it tastes and smells. So great, you saved so much. Okay. So I'm going to start with the pasta just because I've had it before and why not? This is what it looks like. I already know the pasta is really, really good. If you guys make pasta dishes with actual gluten, unlike me who uses like the gluten-free version, save like a cup of pasta water to put, not all of it, but as you mix your sauce and your pasta together, you can use a little bit of it to thin out your sauce, make your pasta adhere to the sauce a little bit better. It's just really good. All right, let me try this. It's so good. Super savory, has a little bite from those red chili flakes. Pumpkin-y, but not sweet. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of those sweet like dinners with cinnamon and pumpkin and stuff. That's kind of weird for me. And because it has the sun-dried tomatoes and the mushrooms, it has like a little bite from those foods. It's really good. All right, next I'm just trying it on rice. This is like the weirdest concept for me, so we'll see how it works. Yeah, it's really good. It really kind of reminds me of a curry. And lastly is the baked potato. I'm pretty sure I'm going to love the baked potato. That's hot. Whew. This, so Sydney asked what's the difference between this sauce and a curry? I would say very, very similar. I think you could do like a pumpkin curry with the tomatoes, with the greens, with the onions, with the garlic. A curry would have some different seasonings and probably a lot more seasonings. But I think we could make like a pumpkin curry that would be really, really fantastic. Okay. Sorry, the potato was so hot. It really like burned my mouth. But the potato was great. And so I thought that this would be really good on 3 different bases, and it was really good. I think you could use the sauce in any way that you like. Whatever you like to put a sauce on top of would probably really, really work. It's very versatile. There's a lot of different things you could do with the sauce. You don't have to put in tomatoes. You don't have to put in sun-dried tomatoes. You don't have to put in kale. You could add the vegetables that you like. It'd probably be great with potatoes. You know, just probably different proteins would be amazing. I thought of putting some chickpeas in this. I thought that would be really delicious as well. But, you know, I'm going to post the video as I always do. I'm going to post the recipe like I always do. And I think you could just make it your own. It'd be fun to learn a pumpkin curry. Post recipe. I will post the recipe. And I'm going to get out of here. If you are watching this video and you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. And thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much. Bye.